Hi there, Toby here. So I'm going to be doing a few courses on the shadow and how to do meditation and mindfulness work with the shadow coming up over the next couple of months. So what I want to do in this short video is to talk a bit about the shadow generally and the bright shadow or golden shadow in particular. So if you're interested in the courses, then this will inform you about them a little bit, but otherwise it'll also be a video that should be of interest by itself as a kind of primer around shadow work and golden shadow work. So really how our shadow works is, if you imagine that by the time you get to adulthood, you have a very clear self-image, by which I mean it's a clear idea of who you think you are. And that self-image informs you with regard to what you think is possible for you, what is not possible, what type of person you are, what type of person you are not, where your limitations are, where your possibilities lie. So this is it's an image in your head about who you are and about what you are capable of and not capable. Okay, so your shadow in this context means all the parts of the person that you are in potential that are unacceptable to your self-image. So for example, if your idea of yourself is somebody who never gets angry, then when anger comes up within you, it's unacceptable. So you push it from your conscious to your unconscious awareness, where it becomes part of your shadow, part of your repressed unconscious. I'm speaking in simplistic terms there, but you kind of get the sense of it. There's a part of you that it is there in potential, but it's not part of your self-image, so you repress it. It can't be part of you. You dismiss it, you repress it, you push it into your unconscious, where it becomes a part of your shadow. So normally the association with shadow work is that it's about parts of you that are damaged or difficult or bad in some way, that the shadows are the dark side of you. What is often missed is that there's also something called the bright shadow or the golden shadow, which is part of you that is part of your hidden potential, your hidden strengths, good, positive, good, creative qualities that you have that are not part of your idea of who you are. So when they come up within you, they exist within you in their potential. When they come up, you dismiss them because this isn't who I am. This isn't part of who I am, right? So we have these kind of hidden strengths that we repress because they're not part of our self-image, and this is what we mean by our bright or golden shadow. So by meditating or learning to be mindful and spot these parts of yourself that are currently repressed or dismissed because they're not part of your self-image, you can learn to access them and start to bring them into your life, and as a result of that, you start to find yourself growing, expressing yourself, enjoying a range of emotions and possibilities that are currently outside the realm of what you think is possible. Okay, so bright shadow work involves contacting your hidden inner strengths, communicating with them, getting to know them, and making them an active, conscious part of who you are in your everyday life. And in some ways, this can be a little bit of a gradual process where you're kind of getting some initial idea or contact with it and building it as a capacity gradually. But sometimes the way in which it grows and becomes a part of you can become surprisingly swift, and the results can be almost feel like they're almost instantaneous. Because if you imagine, these parts of you are already there. They're already a part of who you are, you just don't know it, or you're just not conscious of it. So once you contact them and start to make conscious use of them, sometimes the result can be relatively instantaneous, because really you're just becoming aware of something that's already there and making use of it. Like something you didn't see in your office that you weren't aware was there, you see it, you start to use it. It's kind of like that within your interior space. So this is kind of bright shadow work. So one of the things I'll be doing in the shadow sessions over the next couple of months is I'll be leading a series of classes, 6 classes on the bright shadow and how to work with that systematically. So we'll be looking at things like how to work at it with regard to the amount of energy that you have available to you and your energy levels, how to use your bright shadow to increase your energy levels, how to use your bright shadow with regard to your career and professional life or your working life, how to contact parts of you in your relationships and your relationship to things like love and compassion, and access them in a way that you find that you're actually changing your experience within those domains of your life. Ways of working with obstacles and challenges that you find very difficult, contacting the parts of you that know how to deal with these, and if you are in contact with them, the challenges you're facing will be much less intimidating, much less formidable. So we'll be doing things like this. So I hope this has been an interesting kind of general chat around the shadow and the bright shadow. It gives you kind of an idea of the domain of practice. It's an interesting part of meditation and mindfulness because it comes from modern day psychology, so discoveries in psychology over the last 100 years or so. So it's not an ancient meditation form or mindfulness form, it's one that's informed by modernity and Western philosophy and psychology. So it's a different type of meditation than a lot of the more traditional wisdom tradition practices. So it's interesting in that sense of the word. And it's one that I found to be tremendously useful for myself. So I'm doing the course because I have a tremendous kind of enthusiasm for the practice, and I'm inviting you to join me. So thanks for listening, thanks for seeing the video through to the end, and take care.